Dear listeners, forge your soul from 1095 carbon steel, fold your resolve till you achieve a minimum of 300 layers, and hone the edge of your mind against a block of aluminum oxide.
Because it's time to talk Tull to me. I hone the edge of my mind against a block of cheese, actually.
Yeah, that's usually what I do too. That explains a lot about both of us, I think.
Yeah.
Welcome back, everyone. I am Omen Say.
And I am Nick McGill.
Together we are Feckless Momes.
And this here today, in your ears, is Talk Tull to Me.
A Karate Kid-style training montage in which Nick and I wax and paint the discography of prog rock under the loving but severe tutelage of Mr. Miyagi Anderson in the hopes of one day becoming Masters of Tull.
We wax poetic and paint pathetic, and we share this entire adventure with you, dear listener.
Indeed. So, Nick.
This week, Omen.
Hello.
Hey, Omen.
Hey.
Hi.
Hi. Good to hear your voice.
Good to be here with you. So before we jump into today's meat and potatoes, the main course of the album today, the
rice and lentils of our programming,
the green thing of this program.
For all you vegans out there,
it is track 9 off of War Child. It will be the Third Hoorah.
Hurrah!
Hurrah! But before we do that, we've got a couple of emails.
Your emails, sir.
Okay, let's see here.
Marley, could you please?
Marley.
Thank you, Mary.
Thank you so much. Thank you very much.
I made a soup out of the snoot of the pig.
That's kind of a lot for me for breakfast, actually.
I chilled it so it gelatinified on the top.
I really don't want that right now.
I set it aside on your bedside for when you get hungry in the middle of the night.
Wow, you take such good care of me. Thank you.
You're a lucky man, Omen. You're a lucky man.
Yes. So, wow, what have we got there, Nick? All right, let's see. This is a repeat offender. It's nice to know that our fans, Nick, unlike the fans of some of those other podcasts out there, are in fact literate. This is from AJ Kerrigan. Nick, you beautiful man. In my head, do you believe in the day could flow into Baker Street Muse? But in reality, it does not. You made mashed potatoes out of it anyway, though, because you're a damn professional.
This is in reference to a handful of episodes ago when AJ wrote in saying, I can't wait for let's see, the do you believe part of Thick as a Brick, and he says he always hears...
Do you believe in a Baker Street Muse?
Yeah, he always sees them fit together, and in his mind they obviously do not. And I did a bit of a mashup, yeah, and exposed those, and I'll drop it in here again for review.
He goes on to say, a platinum-plated Tull skull, an inspiration to bright-eyed Tulkalites and calloused Tullards alike. Fine work, AJ.
Thank you, AJ, for reaching out, letting us know how you feel. We love the repeat offenders, and
we do.
We love the new writers inners as well.
And
Keep them coming.
We will continue to try to bring your inadvisable Tull fever dreams to life in the best way that we can.
Yes, and if it happens to be poorly mashed up songs, then so be it.
Yeah. All right, what else have we got there?
What else we have is we've got ourselves another repeat offender from a couple of weeks ago. I think less weeks than the mashup anyway. We have ourselves Jeff B. Jeff B, who was a big fan. He found us based on a comment on a YouTube video.
Jeffy Buzz,
Jeff
yes.
Buzz. He wrote in to say, "Hi, Nick. I just finished Back to the Family as I work through your podcast. You guys are great. I was thinking that I could add a few comments here and there on YouTube on Tull videos with reference to your podcast. If you think that might be helpful, let me know and keep up the great work." And I obviously responded and says, "Yes, Jeff, please be the first of our street crew and spread the love. Let everybody know." And he did. I got like 4 or 5 emails saying, "Oh, did this one. Oh, did this one. Did this one."
Jeffy B.
Yeah.
Float like a butterfly, comment on YouTube like a bee. Our YouTube assassin.
That's right. Yeah, he sneaks in when you least expect it and strikes.
Drops a Tull comment, leaves before it's too late.
He also wrote back, he was first exposed to Tull in 1977 when he was 12 with Songs from the Wood, which
Oh my gosh.
I was probably 12 when I was exposed to Songs from the Wood in 1997, I think.
I was 12 or 13 when I
Yeah.
exposed myself in the woods.
Oh, to Jethro Tull, to the band Jethro Tull.
I've said too much.
They have a few duds in their catalog, as you know, but Ian has been a major influence on me through the years. Keep up the great work. So he put in a couple here. I don't have specific links except for one, but he said he put in one for a Jethro Tull best to worst albums ranked. And I found that comment. He says, "For all of you Tull fanatics, check out the podcast Talk Tull to Me. The authors discuss literally every recorded Tull song. Great stuff."
You know, when you say it out loud like that, it just sounds insane.
Sounds sad, really.
Very. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, and he says he commented on a Helene video and just multiple comments here and there. He says he's on a mission, Tull all the way, and then the little smiley face with sunglasses.
I do want to, reassure our listeners that both of us do actually have lives. This isn't all we do.
But we do appreciate the spread of the love. I mean, that's the important part there.
Indeed.
Yes, thank you, Jeff B. If anyone else wants to write in and comment or tell us where you found us, where you found Talk Tull to Me, that would be great. That's cool. I just like that information. It's
and
pretty
also
satisfying.
how you first encountered Tull. That's always
Yes.
really satisfying to hear.
We do love those stories. Whose album did you steal to become exposed to Tull?
Exactly. All right. Anything else from Mary and Marley?
That's it. Mary gave you that one. Marley gave me my one.
I'll be shuffling back to me cupboard now.
Yeah, please. If you could keep the noise down for the rest of the recording, though, that I'd appreciate.
I'm organizing the spiders.
I know there are a lot in there, so I get it. I get it. Thank you.
I've named them.
Oh, all of them?
Said too much already.
Oh. All right, Marley, good luck. Thank you.
I thought he was from Scotland. He sounds like he's from Cornwall.
I know, he's changing. I mean, Mary had a little touch of French in her this time, too, so who knows?
Hey, don't we all?
That is it
So,
for
Nick,
this week. Let's dive in to the actual content here. Omen,
yes.
let's listen to and talk Tull about the Third Hoorah.
Let us indeed have a listen.
That's it.
Well, Nick, if you weren't caffeinated enough before listening to that, allow me to gently pry you off the wall now.
It's a good one. It's not thrashing, cacophonous, borderline offensive bouncy. It's just like it's a nice, steady speedy little ditty, you know? Like, does that make sense? It's not a powerhouse, but it's still fast. It's got a really steady pace.
It is infectiously upbeat.
Yeah, that's a really good way to put it. Really good way. Yeah.
It has a warning label on it from the CDC. It is because it is so upbeat.
Yeah, do not mix with alcohol. Do not drive heavy machinery while taking.
Right. Don't listen to if pregnant.
Don't listen to it when you're trying to get pregnant because you may conceive with this song instead.
Actually, though, you know, I hate to contradict the CDC, but I think.
Well, they've been really hit or miss lately, so.
Ooh, I think that this would be a great song to play to an unborn child because I think that it really, thematically, there's so much there, and I know that we're going to talk about the music first, but like,
we can talk lyrics first if you want. Content.
No, Nick, we have to do it the same way that we always do.
I know change makes you uncomfortable. I know. I'm just trying to.
Does.
Your therapist reached out to me, said to try and work it into your everyday life, and you know.
No more aversion therapy.
One step at a time. One step at a time, woman. You're not crying, so that is a good sign.
Not on the outside. So before we get into the meaning, let us briefly talk about the music.
Okay.
So it is ferociously upbeat. It's in 4/4 time. No shenanigans with the time signatures this time round. And it starts off with the flute and the guitar.
Yep.
Doing a lot of fun unison stuff.
Kind of a march sound almost, especially when the drum is in there.
Absolutely, yes. It totally has the form of a march. It kind of reminds me, especially with the flute, of those old fife and drum kind of numbers.
Yeah.
There's a military theme musically running through it.
Yeah.
Which we'll actually get back into when we get to the big break in the middle.
Yeah.
You know, I've been listening to these songs recently on my super new headphones, and I can actually hear. Now, don't make this sound gross, Nick, but I can actually hear Ian tonguing the flute. No, I don't mean that in a gross way, but I can hear him tonguing the flute hole. Nick, get your mind out of the gutter.
It's not gross, I swear. He inserts it delicately to everyone's pleasure. It's not gross, I swear. What?
But I can just hear the little kind of tap.
And specifically, tell us what that does. Tell us what that means for us less musically inclined. For those who did not take flute in high school.
I took flute in high school.
Yeah, and you tongued that hole. So you were taught to tongue the hole.
I took it all the way. So the way that you produce sound on a flute is by blowing a stream of air across the hole, which is set transversely on the flute.
Like you would a beer bottle.
Yes, like you would a beer bottle. And to interrupt that flow, you can do a number of various things. You can stop the flow glottally by shutting off the airway in your throat, like this.
Yeah, just stop the actual flow of air from your lungs.
Right, but that doesn't have as precise a cutoff as if you stop the flow of air with your tongue by placing your tongue over the inside of the kind of tube that your lips are making, your embouchure is making. So that would be like this. And that gives you the possibility of doing very sharp staccato notes. It's a common technique used by flautists. And then, of course, Ian Anderson takes it a step further by doing flutter tonguing, which is exactly what it sounds like.
Yeah.
Like that. So, but the thing with tonguing is that you actually hear the tongue sometimes, especially if you're a rock and roller.
Yeah, if you're going crazy on that flute and not going necessarily for delicate precision, you're going to hear the mechanics behind it, and I think that adds to it. You know, you're not playing a nice little sweet little ditty in the symphony. You're a rock flautist, for God's sake.
You're a rock flautist.
Yeah.
On a warpath, and all of that, Nick, is why flautists are the second best kissers of the musical world.
That is what I hear. That is what I hear. Yeah, I started kissing you after you played the flute, so I wouldn't know.
That's right. No, not a big enough sample size. So So then we have the bassing and the guitar come in, also kind of doing a unison thing for a while.
Yeah, they all kind of play the same little. Yeah,
it's very invigorating.
Yeah.
And all of those two kind of pairs of instruments set up for the organ slash harpsichord
That's
coming in.
exactly what I have. I say harpsichord ? Or is it just a fun setting on the organ?
I think it's a fun setting on the organ.
That's my guess.
A harpsichord
Yeah,
setting.
it's the harpsichord setting. Yeah.
But it's fascinating how they sort of set up this wall of doubled up instruments, and then it breaks open for John Evan to just take the ball and really run with it down the field.
Yeah, it's a really nice build up. It's a nice culmination, and then that dam breaks and it kind of floods forward. And it's not just John Evan, like he carries the rest of them with him. It's really nice.
It's really cool.
Yeah.
The composition on this song is super exciting for me.
Yeah, it definitely feels like a wrap up song to the end of a movie. Like it's where you see all of the good stuff happen after that final climax, after the final moment of tension and pressure and whatever. So
totally, it's a victory march.
Yeah. So the girl comes back from the dead after surviving and getting through hell and heaven and all the businessmen, and she's going back and visiting family that she now appreciates, and she breaks up with the bad boyfriend and starts dating the guy that is good for her. And I'm just thinking of 80s tropes in movies, in John Hughes movies.
Took me a minute to figure out that you were talking about the War Child film that this was all possibly, going to be used for.
Exactly. Yeah. That's how I'm viewing this album. It's a soundtrack. Yeah.
Totally. And so this totally has that victory lap feel to it. And if we think about the title, what is the Third Hoorah?
It's the end of the third act of a film.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was thinking it also refers to when you say 3 cheers for
Oh,
so-and-so.
okay.
Hip, hip, hurrah. Hip, hip,
So it's
hurrah.
the last one.
Hip, hip,
Yeah.
Hurrah.
It's the culmination. Yeah. I like that too. That's really good. Yours probably makes more sense than mine, but I think mine
they
is
both make
secretly
sense
applicable.
in different ways.
Yes.
Secretly applicable, like my education.
What?
So
then we get into verse and we get into the chorus. The instrumentation all kind of stays the same during that part until
during the first verse.
Yeah,
yes.
until we get to the bridge, and then we get this flood of all new instrumentation, and it's the bridge between it's between the War Child Dance the Days and Nights Away and the second verse, so In the Heart of Your Heart.
Now, before we roll up our pant legs and wade into that flood, Nick, I do want to point out Ian's doubled up self-harmony, which I wrote down as Ian squared.
Yes, yeah.
Ian times Ian.
Equals Ian squared, yeah.
Ian to the power of
Ian. There are infinite Ians and billions upon billions of Ians in the universe.
Ian Anderson is everywhere, Nick. You just have to look.
In between matter, dark Ian populates the universe. That's my
Captain, we haven't got enough anti-Ian to fuel the engines.
Oh, who was that guy at was he Cornell? He was the big astrophysicist. He taught Bill Nye.
Okay.
Oh, I don't remember his name. He was the main. He was before Neil deGrasse Tyson in terms of like making astrophysics popular. And I'm
Carl Sagan.
Thank you. That's my Carl Sagan. Yeah. Billions upon billions else. Yeah.
So then we do get into that flood, Nick, and here's where I want to draw out another military sound. We have, and it is unknown to me who is playing them, the dreaded bagpipes.
I love them. But bagpipes come in after some really nice strings. And a kickin' French horn in there, too.
Oh, I missed the French horn.
Yeah, it's this really nice brassy thing. Yeah.
Not a war instrument.
Kind of.
More of a surrender instrument.
Oh.
That's a dig against the French.
A very good food instrument.
Okay, sure.
And then, yeah, bagpipes, before we insult all of our French fan, bagpipes come in, and I think, if I remember correctly, I've heard that Ian plays the bagpipes on this. If I remember, I'm not sure.
Wow, that would make sense.
Is it because he's Scottish, Omen?
That is offensive.
That's more offensive than all of the French digs?
Well,
Or
you know,
equally offensive?
equally offensive.
Okay. No, I think I've heard that he plays them in this.
Well, I
don't remember
believe it. I imagine that, the sort of man who would walk into an instrument shop and point at a flute and be like, I will play that in a rock and roll band, would also do the same with a bagpipe.
Yeah. I'll never be as good on the guitar as Jimi Hendrix, so give me that flute.
Yeah. So, Nick, little history about the bagpipe for anyone who isn't aware. It may have come from Egypt, or it may have come and then been gotten up to the British Isles by way of the Romans, or it may have just originated up there. Anyway, it's composed of the emptied out internal organ of a sheep or something of the sort, and then it's got sticks
A
stuck
stomach?
into it.
Imagine stomach.
I'd go with a stomach.
Yeah.
And then it blasts air out, and it was used. Of course, there are lots of different types of bagpipes, and some of them are smaller and sweeter, and some of them are bigger and scarier. And the Scottish Highland pipe is the biggest one, and it was used famously by Scots armies to both to communicate on the battlefield, but also to terrify their enemies. And
Yeah.
there are reports of people being more frightened of the pipers than of the soldiers they were
It's
facing.
amazing.
And having been in close proximity to Scottish bagpipers, Nick, I relate totally.
Yeah.
to
It
that.
takes a certain kind of person to be a Scotch bagpiper.
Yeah.
And the process is unlike the flute where you're blowing directly to create the sound. You blow into a mouthpiece that fills that bladder with air, and then
Right.
you can regulate the air transference out into the pipes.
The advantage of which, of course, is that there is never a cessation of sound.
Right.
There's
It's
a
steady
constant
flow. Yeah.
barrage of sound waves.
Yeah. It's a cool concept for an instrument, and done well, I really do enjoy bagpipes. I do.
Oh yeah. I'm a bigger fan of the uilleann pipe, which is smaller and used in a lot of Irish music.
Does that have a bladder though, or is that just almost like a recorder?
No, it does have a bladder.
Oh, okay.
But it's got a strange feature to it where instead of blowing into it to inflate it, you have a bellows under one arm and then the bag under the other arm. So you
Okay.
sort of do a weird little chicken dance the whole time that you're playing
So
it.
you don't blow into it at all then?
No.
Oh, interesting. And that I
Leaves
think
your mouth free for cigarettes and drinking.
Yep. Yeah. And I think that sounds a little bit more reedy than bagpipes do, I think.
Definitely,
Yeah.
definitely.
I like that sound too. And then at
Tune in to our other podcast, Blather Bagpipes to Me.
at the end of that fairly substantial instrumental, we get a really
Yeah.
kickin' mandolin that comes in as well.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. it's nice. It's everything, and with all of these, they're built on top of what we've established before: flute, drums, bass, guitar.
It really kind of creates the imagery of a parade. It's like we're gonna pull out literally every single instrument,
Yeah,
and parade it on through down the streets with ticker tape and champagne.
this 30 seconds of instrumentation or so is some of the best layered, textured, full-sounding instrumentation in Tull, I think.
I agree.
It's just, it fills you. It's full, it's unique, it's great. It's such a good
and
sound.
it's very positive. It's not.
Yeah.
There's no sort of irony or tongue in cheekness. It's very straightforward and genuine.
Yeah. And everything being a sharp positive note of 4/4 helps. But
Yeah.
I mean, it just adds to it. It's just such a nice sound. I really like it. It excites me. It's very fun.
So, Nick, fun fact: this is the penultimate song on the original vinyl release of this
Yes,
album, and
correct.
it is the second longest.
Is it really? How long is it?
It's I think it's 4:47.
Wow.
Which makes it the second longest just by a bit, and then the longest one is the final song, which we'll cover
Oh,
next
Two
week.
Fingers, yeah.
Two
I
Fingers,
did
yeah.
not realize it was that long. Holy cow.
It doesn't feel that long because
No.
it's so upbeat.
Yeah. It just zips right through it. It's nice. Okay.
So, Nick, shall we now jump into the wonderful lyrics here?
Yeah. Yeah, I think that because we've got another verse and another chorus, but nothing changes musically. So I think we can get
Yeah.
into lyrics.
So, Nick,
Yes.
we have a reprise of the chorus from the song War Child.
Mhm.
War child, dance the days and dance the nights away.
Yeah, but this
So it's
is
not actually a reprise.
War child, dance the days and dance the nights away. War child, dance the days and nights away. Sweet child, how do you do today? War child, dance the days and nights away. Sweet child, how do you do today?
it's a repetition, but it doesn't sound like it at all because it's not as flowy, it's not as dark sounding.
Totally.
Yeah.
So, we had talked about the meaning of the original War Child song on this album and come up with a couple of different theories. And I feel like this one actually just kind of blows all of them out of the water. And maybe, maybe we were totally off base with our original one or maybe not. But, maybe this is just a totally different offering. But I had never read these lyrics until just now.
okay.
And wow.
Let's remind the listener what our original summation was.
Your supposition with War Child, the song, was that it was about sending your child out to make money as a prostitute during wartime, I believe. And
The incredulity
mine-
is unnecessary, but yeah.
and mine was something slightly less sexy. I don't recall, but it was like quite literal. It was quite literally about war, I think.
Yeah, I think so.
And sort of I was drawing a parallel between the Blitz in London and the kind of British philosophy or maxim of keep calm and carry on.
Yeah.
But this is totally different. This, to me, hits me on a much more spiritual level somehow.
Yeah.
When your back's to the wall and your luck is your all, then side with whomever you may. Seek that which within lies waiting to begin the fight of your life that is every day.
When your back's to the wall and your luck is your all, then side with whoever you may. Seek that which within lies waiting to begin of your life that is every day.
Wow. Kind of want a tattoo of that now.
It's a pep up song. It's a picker upper. It's like, you got this.
It
You
sure
do what you
is.
need to do.
Yeah. Life is a battle, and you are the greatest warrior on earth.
Yeah.
But it's talking about, it's sort of using these metaphors of war and fighting, but weirdly not in a destructive way. You know what this reminds me of, Nick? You're right. Avatar: The Last Airbender.
There it is.
In the third season of Avatar, when Aang has to learn firebending, he and Zuko travel to the land of the ancient Sun Warriors, where they are, spoiler alert for anyone who hasn't finished it, taught by the last two remaining dragons the true nature of fire, which is, in its essence, as they discover, a creative force, a force of life rather than a force of destruction.
Mm-hmm.
All this time, I thought firebending was destruction. Since I heard Katara, I've been too afraid and hesitant. But now I know what it really is. It's energy and life.
Yeah, it's like the sun, but inside of you.
And so they learn that, fire is this creative life force. And that's what I'm getting from this. It's like, you are a warrior, not of death, but you are a warrior of life.
It's more than just you have to fight to survive. It's more than just a selfish thing of like, it's everyone for themselves. You do what you need to do to be alive, and that's it. Forget everyone else. It's more of everybody's fighting for their life. You are powerful. It's not a one against all thing. It's not everyone is trying to defeat you. It's just a general idea that life is a struggle. Life is a battle.
And a glorious one.
Yeah. Oh yeah. It's not. It is for the enjoyment of you to struggle through life and to get through life. Like, you should enjoy it.
And it's not necessarily, he's not depicting an eat or be eaten or kill or be killed world here. It's like, I think the second verse really kind of illuminates it for me. In the heart of your heart, there's the tiniest part of an urge to live to the death. Oh my gosh.
In the heart of your hearts, there's the tiniest part of an urge to live to the death.
It's like, it's like, while you're alive, live.
Yeah.
Because you will die. So, don't die before you're dead. It reminds me of that old Scotch, Irish, maybe Irish drinking song. I'll eat when I'm hungry and drink when I'm dry, and if the moonshine don't kill me, I'll live till I die.
Give me food when I'm hungry, give me drink when I'm tired. $1 when I'm hard up, religion when I die. Only then, if this whole world's a bottle, then life's but a drown. When the bottle is empty, it sure ain't worth a damn. I've been a moonshiner for 17 long years. I've spent all my money on whiskey and beer. I go to some hollow and I'll set up my still. And if the whiskey don't kill me, I don't know what will.
Have we used that before? It
I don't
sounds
think we
very
ever have.
familiar. No.
No.
Okay. I'll
We used to sing
try
a
to find
version of
that
that at the fair.
Yeah.
But I love that turn of phrase. Usually we hear like, we'll fight to the death. But this is saying, we'll live to the death.
Yeah.
We'll live every single moment until we die.
Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah. Live your life. It doesn't have to be a struggle. It doesn't have to be a fight. Just live it. Give it the energy that it warrants, and live it, and that will be your life.
Yeah. Like approach life not from a place of, oh, well, whatever happens, happens.
Of defeat. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. You have within you the warrior spirit.
Yeah. With a sword on your hips and a cry on your lips to strike life in the inner child's breast.
With your sword on your hip and a cry on your lips to strike life in the inner child's breast.
Preach.
Yeah. Sing it,
I
Ian.
love this.
It's such a good song. It's such a lovely jaunt.
Well, and it's so devoid of what we often hear from Ian, which is, critique and tongue-in-cheek.
Cynicism. A little cynicism, yeah.
There's no cynicism in this.
Yeah. Yeah, it is, to my memory, one of the most positive songs I've heard from him.
How did that one slip through?
Someone did something wrong. He drank a little too many cups of tea and just...
That was yes. He made the mistake of ordering a second half pint at the hotel bar.
And he was gone. Alcohol is not a depressant for him. It's an upper.
He blacked out, woke up on the West Coast and was like, "Oh, I have a new song. Where did this come from?"
Completely recorded and edited and everything. Like he couldn't turn back.
He dotted all his I's with hearts.
Yes. Yep. Yeah.
This may be my favorite song off the album, Nick. So far.
It's pretty good.
It's pretty great.
Yeah, I'm trying to think of it back. I don't know. The Sea Lion Skating and Bungle, that trio is really good.
It's true. And I don't necessarily think that this is the most. I don't like it from a
One of those.
Yeah. I don't necessarily think it's the best song musically, but it is the song which speaks to me and where I am in my life right now the most.
Okay. I like that. I like that a lot. Yeah. The positivity is, especially after having really, just like you, I hadn't really sat down and looked at the lyrics and processed them up until now. So seeing that and just acknowledging the positivity and the you got this kid kind of attitude toward it, it's hard not to really like this song.
It's like the flint that you strike with the steel of your soul to create a spark of fire. It's like the Zippo that you flip open.
I would say it's the kindling. It's the kindling. You've got the spark in you. You've got it.
Oh, I am the spark.
You are the spark.
What's the steel?
You don't need the steel because the spark is already created. You don't need that either.
What are you, some kind of Zoroastrian?
You're the Zippo, Omen, okay?
I am the Zippo.
You're the Zippo. Be one with the Zippo. And this is your tinder. This is your cotton to start the fire. All you needed was just a little accelerant.
A little cool flick of the wrist by some kind of a bad biker.
A beatnik in a black turtleneck, lighting a clove cigarette. Yeah.
Oh God. Do you know I smoked a couple of clove cigarettes in college?
A couple? You're like of your entire career, you smoked like 2 or 3?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I bought a pack of them and I was like, I'm going to be cool now.
Yeah. Yeah, I dated a girl for a hot second who smoked cloves.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I'm not gonna lie, it is far superior in like being acceptable to me in terms of offense. Like a cigarette is just ugh. There's nothing like that. But like the clove, the smell I'm okay with,
Sure, but you may as well light a stick of incense and not smoke it.
And not inhale it. Yeah, just light some clove incense. Yeah, valid. And get less garbage in your lungs. That's a good point.
Yeah. So Nick, what else do we have in regards to this song?
I personally don't have anything more. I love the content and I really love that instrumental break.
If you could sum up this song, Nick, let's do a thought experiment.
Another one of these.
Don't sound so down about it before it starts, Nick.
Okay.
Okay, let's say that I have the desire to get a tattoo.
Uh-huh.
And I want to get a tattoo of this song, but I don't want to get all the lyrics written on me because that sounds painful.
That's a lot.
So it's a lot. So if I was to sum up this song in an image to give to a tattoo artist, what would that image be?
A sword crossed with a flute.
Ooh.
Like
I
they're
like that.
not like a hybrid, like a flute with a hilt, but like like the cross, like the two items are crossed.
I don't know what to think about the fact that you thought that I might have misunderstood you and thought that you were talking about some kind of bizarre weaponized flute.
I just
or some kind of musical sword.
For all listeners, I wanted to clarify, make sure that they got the idea of the crossing of the items.
That's some yeah. Oh yes, I like that. So more like what you would see on a shield.
Yeah, almost some form of a coat of arms. You know what you would find on a coat of arms.
Yeah. Maybe there'd be a flame springing from the center point where they crossed.
Or like a spark almost.
Yes. Oh yeah, like they're hitting each other and creating a spark of life.
That spark of life that we were talking about.
Spark of life. Well, I will get that tattoo tomorrow.
Okay. Where's it going to be?
I can't say it on the radio.
On your face?
Yep. No, I would get it. I think if it was cool enough, I would get it on my bicep.
Yeah. You would need to get a good artist to really
Well, I'd have to get a good
it.
bicep first.
Well, yeah, we'll start there, then get the good artist to create it.
Okay. If any of our listeners out there are visual artists and want to create this tattoo and submit it to Nick, what's our address?
momes@fecklessmomes.com.
We will have a contest, and the winner of the contest, I will totally get tattooed on my body.
Yeah?
Oh yeah, if it's dope, yeah, why not?
But what if it's only like one person who submits something? Are they by default the winner, so you have to get it?
Discretion will be left to the judges as to whether or not there is a winner.
And you and I are the judges?
Of course. Yeah, who else would be?
I mean, yeah, I like it. Yeah, I mean, if you could come up with a B.A. Tull tattoo, it doesn't even have to be for War Child. I'm partial to the pixie Ian from Crest. No, is that Crest? Yeah. No,
it's
broadsword. Yeah, thank you.
I would also accept a sword crossed with a mandolin.
Okay.
That'd be kind of cool.
A flute crossed with a mandolin.
A flandolin.
A flandolin.
A moot. Yeah. So, Nick.
Yeah, Omen.
To what are we exposing our ear brains next week?
Next week is the final track off of War Child. It is song number 10. It is Two Fingers. Two Fingers.
Sounds rather rude.
It could be. I don't know. I haven't read the lyrics in a very long time, so we won't know until next week.
Can I just tell you a brief anecdote?
I like nothing more than your brief anecdotes.
So I listen, my morning, I have a series of morning routines, but one of them is to listen to the BBC World Service when I am making my coffee and my soft-boiled egg. And the other morning, I was listening to a panel of economists talk about the recovery, or lack thereof, in the post-COVID world, and one of them, this British economist, was saying, the question is, what kind of a curve will it be? What kind of a recovery will it be? Will it be an L-shaped curve? Will it be a U-shaped curve? Or will it be a V-shaped curve, which is really just two fingers in the air and rather rude? Because, of course, two fingers in a V in Britain is the equivalent to us in America of flipping the bird.
Yeah.
And I just couldn't believe that an economist on the BBC just dropped that very strange little image of a joke.
I think it's a matter of, at this point, they're at this point, you kind of have to acknowledge that the world has gone a little bananas. And
Yes. Or
and-
even the economic recovery is flipping us off.
yeah, well, yeah, that too. And it's the fact that yeah, we can definitely acknowledge how bonkers things have gotten. And honestly, we're all human. We're all thinking it.
We
So-
are.
And that is how subdued is him talking about like a third rate innuendo versus like anything that comes out of our president's mouth.
Aye.
Yeah. Sorry, I'm getting political.
And in the midst of all this chaos, what better thing to boost our spirits than listening to some Jethro Tull, Nick?
And reading reviews that you give us, dear listener, dear Tull Skulls, those 5-star ratings and reviews.
That's right. Take the sword of a 5-star review on your hip and the war cry of a positive review and charge into the battle that is the internet and spark life into this podcast for other listeners.
Every review that we read will get 3 hurrahs. I mean, they always do.
Oh.
They always do.
Absolutely.
We appreciate them. So, until next week, until the final song off the album, I am Nick McGill.
I am Omen Sade,
We are Feckless Momes.
and this is Talk Tull to Me.
Master, I need you to teach me the
Yes,
ways
yes.
of Talk Tull to me. I need to know how to podcast successfully, and
You believe you are ready?
I think so.
First, come out here to my garage where my Fiat 500 Abarth is parked.
Oh, okay. Now
Now,
it's nice. It's a nice car.
yes, it is. Now take this waxing brush in one hand,
Okay.
and take this polishing cloth in the other hand,
Okay.
and stare at this microphone.
Okay.
Now wax on, wax off,
What,
wax poetic, wax philosophic,
the actual
wax intellectual.
you want me to wax your
Wax.
car?
Yes, wax it. You missed a spot over there on the bumper.
You just want me to do labor for you? Is that?
Yes, absolutely. Yes, please.
Do I need to clean your windows after this?
Yes, please do that. Yes, clean. I have a lot of dirty things in my house.
I mean, I thought you were a respected trainer. I've always known that Talk Tull to Me was a proud member of the Feckless Momes audio network, but this is just sad.
And you have taken the first step toward podcasting.